Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IAS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we'll talk about Article 200. Article 200. Why is Article 200 in news? We'll talk about Article 200, 201 and again this whole news or this whole article is an excuse or these articles are excuse for us. Via these articles, we want to learn about different commissions like Punchi Commission, Sarkaria Commission, Venkatchalia Commission, which is also known as NCRWC. NCRWC, National Commission to Review the Working of Constitution. And we'll talk about a lot of things, whether governor must act on the advice of Council of Ministers or not, what different commissions say about that. There are so many things we have to talk about. At the end, because there will be so much discussion which will be happening, we will solve not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 MCQs. What happens when you solve these many MCQs? You remember stuff in a much better manner. May 2025, Indian Express, which article, which page, we'll talk about that later on. So, and what was there in that article of Indian Express? They talked about Supreme Court ruling. And this is a thing which is in news. Like many of you, if you are serious UPSC aspirant, you have already known this whole scenario that earlier under Article 200, governor can reserve a bill. And for how long, that time was not stipulated. Under Article 201, governor can send the bill for consideration of president. Again, president will be acting on it within how much time? That was not stipulated. Supreme Court has given a ruling that even president has to decide on the bill reserved by governor within 3 months. This whole discussion, I have already done it and you can have a look at this. There was a video which I made. I will just show you this particular video. Why is Tamil Nadu in news? If you go to my playlist, if you just write Shubham Sagar on YouTube, you will get my playlist and you can watch this particular video. There we have talked about what Supreme Court verdict was given. Then our honorable President ma'am, Droupadi Murmu ma'am, she has like taken presidential reference under Article 143. And then I have also talked about Article 143 Clause 1, Clause 2, what is the basic difference. Here, Droupadi Murmu ma'am has asked Supreme Court whether they can give their deadlines like 3 months, etc., when it is not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution. So this is not the core agenda, what we have to discuss today. We don't have to discuss 142, 143 or presidential reference, that has already been discussed in that video. But via this particular thing, we have to go to governor, we have to go to different commissions and committees. Those are very important from both UPSC pre as well as mains perspective. You can see. So this was the whole thing which led to, like, you need a starting point, right? This is the starting point. What happened? Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi, he has delayed certain bills, 10 state bills. It is not only confined to Tamil Nadu, even Telangana 1 or 2 years back, they have given statement that this whole thing, when governor is not taking action on different bills, it in a way cripples the whole state machinery, and that should not happen time and again. Okay. So let's come to the agenda of the day, which we have to talk about. And you can go to this video and you can read about 142, 143, presidential reference, etc., etc. Article 200, this is the core issue of the day. And via this, we'll go to 201 and then different commissions and committees. 200, governor has 4 options. He can grant assent, withhold assent to a bill, return the bill, if not a money bill. Please understand this. This is a tricky part. If it is a money bill, then president has to give an assent. Or president, I'm saying, governor has to give an assent. Because it is generally believed that with the permission of governor only, that money bill has been introduced in the state legislature and he can reserve the bill for president. So this whole thing is, when he is withholding the assent or when he is not taking any action, he must take action as soon as possible. Now this created ambiguity. Article 200, because they use this particular phrase, as soon as possible, ASAP, right? But don't use WhatsApp lingo in UPSC mains. So again, what is as soon as possible? It's all relative. 3 months is as soon as possible, 6 months. And then 201 is about governor reserving bill for consideration of president. Here also there is no specific time frame and Supreme Court has given guidelines for all of these things, 3 months. Governor must give assent within 1 month. If they are withholding assent, that has to be done within 3 months and they can then say why they have withhold assent. If the bill is again sent to them, they have to give assent within 1 month. So all these time frame has been specified by Supreme Court and many people are not happy with that. So again, do you support this 3 month thing which Supreme Court has said that yes, president has to return bill within 3 months, giving assent. Do you support this 3-month things or not? What is your view on that particular thing? Okay, we'll talk more about other stuff. Governor's appointment and tenure. I have told you this whole thing, this whole Article 200, 201, 142, 143, these articles are in news. And more often than not, you will hear about them again and again. But you have to connect the dots. Why? Like most of the people, what they will do, they will just read about these articles, explicit provision, leave it. Don't leave it. Focus on governor, appointed by president, hold office at the pleasure of president. And now the whole discussion about gubernatorial office comes into picture, whether governor is an agent of center or not. These kind of discussions happen, and then different commissions comes into picture, whether the decisions taken by governor, they are subject to judicial review or not. What SR Bombay case rather, 1994, they talk about related to this whole thing. And is it subject to judicial review or not? We are talking about governor's decision. So there are so many things which we have to talk about. Who can be a governor? He must be an Indian citizen, 35 plus years. He must not be an MP, MLA, and he must not be holding any office of profit. So all these provisions are there. You don't have to remember each and everything. I will tell you the parts which are actually very important from exam perspective, which are raising questions. Like governor, he should act on the aid and advice of Council of Minister. Is it must or is it not must? Like in the case of president, he or she has to act on the advice of Prime Minister and Council of Minister. But what about governor? Should he or she must act? Here there is ambiguity. It is said that when, you must have read this in polity, parallel study. When you are reading Parliament, you're reading state legislature. When you're reading PM, you're reading CM. When you're reading president, you're reading governor. But it's not like most of the things are very similar. But it is said that president has limited discretionary power as compared to governor. Governor has somewhat more discretionary power. And that's what raises all these questions which we are discussing here. He has formal power, summon, prorogue. Now there are different terms. What is prorogation? What is summon? What is adjournment? What is adjournment sine die? If you know the meaning of these words, you can post it in the comment section. We are concerned with much more important matters here, and we'll go there now. Supreme Court guidelines in recent rulings. So that's what we have discussed. What are the guidelines for governors? You have to give assent within 1 month. If you are withholding assent, you return bill within 3 months. And then express reservation, return assent. If this bill again comes back to you, give assent, must assent within 1 month. And you cannot withhold assent against the advice of Council of Ministers. Now, this is again a matter of discussion, that whether they should or must, governor must act on the aid and advice of Council of Ministers or not. What is your view on that? There was one commission which said that, this is actually very interesting. There was one commission which said that if you are electing, and if center is deciding the governor, in that scenario they have to take the advice of chief minister of that particular state. Do you agree with that commission's recommendation? We'll go there. So do you agree that whenever a governor is being appointed, advice should be taken of CM and the Council of Minister of that particular state to ensure that harmonious rule happens? Because this whole discord between governor and CM, it in a way, as we have discussed earlier, cripples the administrative machinery of the state. So now, we'll go there again. There are different words. This whole Supreme Court verdict related to Article 142, where they have used Article 142, and they have given this deadline of 3 months. Do you think this is judicial review, activism, judicial activism, or judicial overreach? Again, if you go to that particular video which I have shown you, Voice Tamil Nadu News, I have talked about these 3 terms: judicial review, judicial activism, judicial overreach. What is judicial review? When Supreme Court or judiciary is checking the constitutionality of laws and executive order. Many people said Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, where Supreme Court, if I'm not wrong, struck down Section 66A of IT Act, that is judicial review, because it was impinging on right to freedom of speech and expression. Then you have judicial activism, which is thrusted upon judiciary due to the non-functioning of legislature and executive. Many people believe Keshwanand Bharti, PIL, these are example of judicial activism. But again, there is no fixed silos. Many people even keep Keshwanand Bharti, PIL in judicial review. That's totally your call, but most of the scholars, they keep it in judicial activism. Judicial overreach is when this has a negative connotation, judicial overreach, when judiciary is going beyond their power and they are doing something which is within the ambit of legislature or executive. There is Shyam Narayan Choksi case, national anthem case. There is one case where they talked about within national or state highway within 200 meters, something like that. liquor shops will not be there, how they're deciding the 200 meter, 300 meter, whether these kind of, this is actually lawmaking or what. If this is lawmaking, that should be the work of legislature. Why is judiciary doing it? So here also, in this scenario, where they have fixed a timeline of 3 months for president, for governor in different scenarios, do you think this is judicial review, this is judicial activism, or do you think, sir, judiciary has gone overboard here and this is judicial overreach? Now let's talk about different commissions. Administrative Reforms Commission, second Administrative Reforms Commission, ARC, Ethics and Governance report is anyway very important. Very, very important. You will read about it a lot. Ethics and Governance report. There they have talked about a lot of things, and here I'm talking about second ARC. This is first ARC and then second ARC came, Ethics and Governance report. There they talked about corruption in India, that corruption is an exception rather than a norm in most countries of the world. Corruption is a norm rather than exception in India. Corruption is a high return or low return, high risk activity in most countries of the world. Corruption is a low return, high return, low risk activity in India. Let me rephrase it again if I did, corruption is a low return, high risk activity in most countries of the world. In India, corruption is a high return, low risk activity. Who is saying this? Second ARC, Ethics and Governance report. You will read it when you're reading GS4 ethics. So these commissions, Sarkaria Commission, they said that this Article 200, 201, where governor is giving assent, withholding assent, reserving the bill, it has to be limited because governor is misusing it. Sarkaria Commission. Remember these, they can give you which commission said that we have to limit the power under 200 and 201. Venkat Chalia Commission, very, very important commission. NCRWC. I will give you some cheat code here. Please remember it. You will use it in UPSC mains. What are the cheat codes? So NCRWC, Venkat Chalia Commission, they're also known as NCRWC, National Commission to Review the Working of Constitution. So they have reviewed the whole Constitution. So there is a joke which goes on around the circle that when you are writing UPSC mains, you can always write, if you are writing answer in polity and governance, you can always write according to NCRWC, according to Venkat Chalia Commission, because they have given their recommendation on anything and everything. So if you feel like you want to talk about certain aspects of polity, governor, PM, CM, and you know the fact is right, but you don't know who said it, you can quote Venkat Chalia Commission or NCRWC. Again, use it at your own peril. You will understand what I'm saying. I'll give you another example. Let's say health. So if you have some data on health which is actually correct, you don't know who said it or what said it, which particular journal said it, Lancet. They give a lot of data on population, health, etc. You can quote Lancet. I will give you another example to make you understand where I'm going with this. So let's say Delhi Sultanate. So there was an author, his name was Barni, Jayauddin Barni. He wrote Tarikh-e-Firozshahi Fatwa-e Jahandari. So he has been quoted a lot in Delhi Sultanate. So if you know some fact, like any Khalji, he cannot even kill an ant or something, and you are not very sure, you can quote Barni. But once you start doing it, you will realize where you have to stop. So these are some cheat code which you understand when you do a lot of answer writing. Hope you understood some part of it. So Punchi Commission, now this is interesting. This is what we were talking about. Punchi Commission said that if you are electing governor, please consult chief minister. That will ensure harmony in the state, and that will ensure that state administrative machinery is carried out according to the constitutional norms, and there is not too much discord there. Again, pardon me for the phonetics part. So do you think this has to be done, or do you think it should be done? CM should be consulted before appointment of governor, or do you think no, sir, this is not necessary, this will just increase or just waste the whole time and everything? Then Supreme Court judgment. Shamsher Singh, governor must act on chief minister's advice. Just like president more or less is bound by the advice of prime minister, governor also must act on chief minister's advice. Raghukul Tilak, governor are not mere central employees, as we have said, agent of center. There are discussions related to that. SR Bommai, this is very important. Earlier, whatever decisions governors are taking or were taking, they were not subject to judicial review. After SR Bommai case, 1994, very important case. There are certain cases which are very important. Sankri Prasad case, Golaknath case, Keshwanand Bharti case, Minerva Mills case, Vaman Rao case, similarly SR Bommai case. Rameshwar Prasad, governor's personal opinion is not valid for president rule. When you read about president rule, the one point is failure of constitutional machinery, not just that governor said that's why you will apply president rule. Okay. Constitutional and federal implications. So this part is saying that Supreme Court judgment is welcome because it will limit delay and this and that. So again, it's not like you have to agree with this. Do you agree with Supreme Court judgment where they have put a timeline of 3 months? Or do you think it's just like judiciary is going too far, and this is not judicial activism, rather, it is not judicial review, it is judicial overreach. So this was the Indian Express article. Governor versus state, Supreme Court draws the line, and these kind of articles have like been asked a lot, have been given a lot in Indian Express, Times of India, and like Hindu and whatnot. So this is not new, but via this we have to read about so many different things. Now this is MCQ in front of you related to Article 200 of the Constitution. It provides governor the option to return a bill for money bill for reconsideration. You can have a look at it. How many of these statements are correct? MCQ2, under which article did Supreme Court invoke its special powers to set a timeline for presidential assent on bills reserved by governor? Which particular article? Which commission recommended? We have had a extensive discussion on that. Means this particular provision, rather, that governor must be appointed in consultation with CM of the concerned state. Which particular commission we are talking about? Sarkaria, Punchi, Venkatchalia, or ARC? What is the answer? And that's why we have read about these commissions. MCQ 4, under Article 400, what are the options which are available to governor? Have a look at these options. And then you have MCQ 5. What does this expression as soon as possible, like expression as soon as possible used in Article 200, refers to which of the following actions of governor? So these 5 MCQs, I will share the answer. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of these 5 MCQs in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shub, because study should be fun. If you know the answer of these 5 MCQs, you can post it in the comment section, and that would be a good practice. And that way you will also remember stuff. So Fun Study with Shub. Whatever are your views on this particular topic, you can share it in the comment section, whether judiciary is like, overreaching, means they're just exceeding their jurisdiction and they should not have done what they have done. Presidential reference by Honorable President means Droupadi Murmu ma'am, rather. Do you agree with that, or do you think Droupadi Murmu ma'am, number of questions she has asked, that is actually very valid? So whatever are your views, please feel free to share it in the comment section. Also, if you're a serious UPSC aspirant of 2026, you can join our May morning batch. So batch is starting on 20th May 2025. Join at the earliest. You can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. Do use this particular code, and this is actually P2I, prelims to interview. So we'll be starting from pre and we'll be going till interview, obviously. And if you are our monthly top performer, you will get 11,000 reward. And if you clear UPSC pre 2026, we'll initiate full refund for you, because you'll be making us as well as yourself proud. So do join at the earliest, and because if you feel like there is some guidance which is missing, you need some amount of mentorship, you need some amount of hand holding, we are there for you. So that's it from me, Saran ma'am. I will see you soon, and take care, be blessed, tata, bye bye.